What is up, all of my friends from YouTube? Now, this might be the 60th time I've practiced this intro, but hopefully we get it right this time. Welcome to the State of Real. On my channel, we do car stuff, and I have a Prelude back here that's a turbocharged Prelude running 15 pounds of boost. It's a completely built F20B, and at 15 PSI, depending on whether I'm on E85 or 93 octane, making between 400 and 450 horsepower. And I do have a flex fuel sensor, but I also have this gem over here that's quite rusty, but this is the 64 T-Bird. It has a big block 390, and I'm also rebuilding this as well. But currently, as you can see, it is in a bit of a dirty situation. But because the pandemic happened, I wanted to give you guys an update of what's been going on, because there's been like little odds and ends of things that I've been trying to fix on the car. I need better crankcase ventilation because the bung in the back of the block was really spewing a lot of oil, and just needed to clean that up because it was getting really annoying. So got some clips for you guys to watch here at the end, but I also want to tell you I finally picked up the Nitrous kit that I've always wanted. From day one with this build, I'd planned on doing Nitrous, so I got the whole story of how I picked up the Nitrous and that whole thing at the end. So without further ado, let's go check out the Nitrous. All right, guys, so I'm pretty excited. I am on my way right now to go pick up my first Nitrous kit. It is a used kit, but I got it for a very considerable price. Since like if you were to buy a brand new kit offline, it would cost you any like minimum of like $350. So not that that's a huge expense.
In 1 mile, keep left onto Silver Maple Road.
Dang it, that sucks. Not that that's a huge expense, but it's definitely an additional expense to my already very expensive Borg-Warner turbo Prelude setup. So we're gonna go check this out. I'm hoping the bottle's already hydroed. If not, I'll have to pay for that too, but we're still really low considering I'm not buying a brand new kit and it comes with all the stuff. So let's go check it out. All right, well, I got the system. It's in the trunk and the owner's leaving. He came in a nice 1948 pickup truck, so I was definitely oohing and ahhing over his ride, and I don't know if you can still hear it, but he's leaving the parking lot. There it is, right over there. Boom, beautiful. So another car lover passed on something that he didn't end up using, so we're gonna use it. Recycling, yeah. All right, guys, so I'm back home, and now I get to ooh and ah over the parts I just got. So I picked up a 2-step module with this kit, and this is an old style set, so I could pretty much set this up on anything. Here's the bottle itself. It is a Moroso 10-pound. It is a short fatty, it's not a tall one. It is an older style one, and I don't see any certification stickers from the last time it was hydroed. So just in case you didn't know, if you're looking into buying a used Nitrous setup, you want to see when the last time it was certified or hydrostatic tested, which is basically testing the strength of the bottle itself to make sure that it can get filled up with nitrous. And usually every 5 years is dictated by this number up here. This is the model number of this type of tank, and usually the 3ALs require hydrostatic testing every 5 years. So this is a nice haul. We got some throttle plates here, but it did come with switches and lines and 2 old style solenoids, so I can test to see if these are still working. And because I'm probably going to go dry on this setup, I could probably still use those without worrying about going lean, because worst comes to worst, if the solenoid doesn't open up then I just go really fat. You know, I get more fuel from my injectors. So that's the haul here. Not too bad. I love it. All right, guys, so we're back in the garage here, and I got all the nitrous stuff here, and I'm really excited that I finally have a nitrous setup, because this was a long time coming. Nitrous bottle, all the line, all the solenoids. So how do I put the nitrous in the car? Well, a little bit of a backstory is, back in my younger days, I went to college for machine tool and computer-aided manufacturing technology. So I have an Associates of Science to be a machinist. I have worked in that field for about 7 years, and the nice part about that is you have access to a lot of tools to manufacture and make whatever the heck you want. So a long time ago, maybe 5 years ago, I realized that there were a lot of different setups for people to run nitrous with a plate, but not one for a Prelude, or an H22, I should say. So I ended up spending my time after work on AutoCAD and with a piece of paper and my dirty finger to make a real quick blueprint, and designed my own plate, my nitrous plate. And just so you guys can see, here's the first development of what you will soon see as a nitrous plate. And I made 3 slugs, which I bought all the material off of eBay. It's all aircraft aluminum 6061, and I milled out 3 blanks. And this was the first one, and this one was a little rough. Still trying to figure out how I was going to do it. I didn't have a tool or a tool head that would allow me to get into this really tight area, because in order to drill those holes, this has to be situated like this, and the machine has to come in and drill these really teeny tiny holes. So I ended up breaking a drill bit off because I was doing this on a Bridgeport milling machine, and I moved over and drilled 2 more holes, and it works perfectly fine. But this style is actually a wet plate. And initially, when I first started planning this build, I was just gonna go straight nitrous, but got talked into doing a turbo setup. So here I am with a turbo setup, and I promised you guys that I was going to hit 600 horsepower, essentially, with turbo and nitrous. If you look in my previous videos, I'd always planned on doing turbo and nitrous. And part of that is because I want the quick spool time of a small turbocharger, but I also wanted to hit 600 horsepower as part of my goal. And I'm sure that you guys will understand that goal shifted from 350 to 450 to 500 to 550 to 600. So here we are now talking about nitrous being added to a turbocharged setup. And I ended up making 2 separate plates. I made a wet plate and a dry plate. This is my dry plate that I made. And notice that it only has 1 set of ports. And that's because that's just for the nitrous, because my injectors are big enough that they can compensate and provide more fuel for this setup. So these are the 3 blanks that I made. This one's actually hasn't been touched by anything, so it's completely blank, no side ports or anything. But this one's actually set up to be both wet or dry. I just haven't drilled the ports down through here to make it that. See, it's even got the second port on the bottom there. But just so you guys can see how this is gonna work, this piece, oops, upside down. This piece goes on top of here, and if I can center this, you can kind of see how the setup works. So the nitrous comes in through here, where there would be a metering jet, and then the nitrous is blown through these ports right here on the bottom, and that gives you a nice OEM flush look. You don't have any jets coming in the side. So this all bolts up together. Now I did make it for a 70mm throttle body, which this OEM H22 throttle body is not. So I'm kind of excited because I put a lot of work into these and now I get to use them. But this is a big step for me because now I have a nitrous bottle and I have the solenoid. So for the first time in my life, I own a turbocharged car and a nitrous system. So hopefully we can make those 2 mate together and we'll have a turbo nitrous car. But that's the fun for today, guys, and more coming to you. But guys, until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for going on this journey with me to pick up my first nitrous bottle, and I'll see you on the next one.